And all of a sudden I see how one rabbi takes a piece of a verse, another one, and then he takes another piece of another verse, another piece of another verse, and he makes a whole midrash out of it. He makes a whole study out of it. I go, my Lord, this looks just like what Paul is doing. And I never understood Paul's writings until I started understanding, the Orthodox way of study, because he was a Pharisee of Pharisees. He understood these things. You understand? Anyway, so there comes a believer in Yeshua reading Paul from a Greco-Roman mindset who's untrained and unsteadfast, unstable, who has no clue about the Hebrew, no clue about the methods of study, and they create their own denomination. They do away with the Torah of Yahweh just because they don't understand. Romans 7:22, Paul says, for I delight in the law of God after the inward man. He delights in the Torah. But he's saying the same thing. Psalms 119:1 says, Aleph, blessed is the undefiled in the way, who walk in the Torah of the Lord. Wait a minute. Psalms 119 is telling me that I am undefiled in the way if I walk in the Torah. If I walk faithfully in the words of Yahweh. So what if I'm not walking in the words of Yahweh? I'm defiled. I'm unholy. 119:18 says, open thou my eyes, that I may behold wonderful things out of your Torah. The word open there in that verse means revealed. So I should be reading in Hebrew, reveal thou my eyes, open my eyes, or reveal thou my eyes open, that I may behold wondrous things in our Torah, in your Torah. That's my prayer every morning, by the way. I pray that every day. Open my eyes that I may see the wonderful works in your Torah. Psalms 119:165 says, greatest peace have they which love thy Torah, and nothing shall offend them. In other words, nothing in Hebrew means nothing shall be a stumbling block unto you. So wait a minute, you have great peace if you love the Torah. Yeshua said it. If you love me, keep my commandments. Now let's go to the Jeremiah 31:31. Because surely when every pastor tells me that they believe in the new covenant, right? They quote you Jeremiah 31, right? But the thing is that we have a problem. We got to look. If he came up with something new in Jeremiah, that means that Yahweh is adding on to his own word after he said it was perfect, right? Makes no sense. So let's look at the word chadash and the word new. Behold, the days are coming, says Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Now, make a sidebar here. Every time I talk to a Christian brother, and I tell him, do you believe in the new covenant? He goes, yes. And I say, well, what house do you belong to? And he goes, the law of Christ. I said, that's not what the text says. The text says that the covenant is with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. You cannot claim a covenant if you consider yourself a Gentile. Why? Because the word goyim in the Hebrew means an idolater, a heathen, an idol worshiper, a pagan. It means a fornicator. Okay? A murderer. So wait a minute. Christians, they come to the knowledge of Yeshua and they don't want to call themselves Israel. They don't want to call themselves rulers with God, to rule with God. Or they don't want the title of royalty that Yahweh has bestowed upon us. He's taking us from being an idolater, a pagan, an adulterer, a murderer, to come to the knowledge of His will and the Torah, so we can be Israel, so we can rule with Him as prince and all those things. And whatever, servant, or whatever you want to call it. Right? Does that make sense? No, they want to call themselves Gentiles. So Yahweh says, no, I want to call you Israel. No, I want to call myself a heathen, a murderer, an idolater, a pagan. And they refuse God's title for a paganistic title. They don't realize what they're doing. The word Gentile really don't appear in the Bible. It's goyim, nations. Okay, so we have to understand this. In the Hebrew, I mean, goyim. So now, let's look at the word. Behold, the days are coming, says Yahweh, when I will make a new. Let's look at that word in the Hebrew. The Hebrew word is chadash. Chet, dalet, shin. Now, it has two meanings. It could mean new, but in the Strong's 23:18, when you do a search, it says a primitive root to be new, causatively to rebuild, to renew, to repair. So the word chadash in that verse in Jeremiah 31:31 doesn't mean brand new. It means to rebuild, to renew, to repair. Therefore, the question is, if that covenant, let's read it again. Jeremiah 31:31 says, behold, the days are coming, says Yahweh, when I will make a what? A renewed covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Then the question begs to be asked here. Where's that covenant found in Scripture? Because obviously in Jeremiah 31:31, it's not a new covenant, it's renewed. So something renewed has to be established from before. Would you agree? So we need to investigate today. What is Yeshua came to renew? Did he come to renew the Torah? Or did he come to renew something else? What did he change? If he came to change the Torah, the law, then why do we follow the Torah? Then that means I could sleep with your wife, I could kill you, I could go and covet what you have, and I could kill you, I could lie to you, I could sleep with your wife, I could take what you have, and you cannot do anything to me. So every time somebody says the law is done away with, he just gave me permission to do anything in his life, and because I'm under grace, I'm going to be forgiven. So the Christian says, oh, no, the 10 Commandments, no, wait a minute, 9 Commandments, because they don't keep the Sabbath. The 10 Commandments, we follow those. But when you mention the 9th commandment, they have a cow. See what I'm saying? So there's contradictions all over the place. We have to put this to rest. And this teaching, in my opinion, to me, is one of the most important ones, because once we understand what Yeshua was referring to and the perfect work of Messiah, wow, it changes our whole perception of the Torah and the Hebraic way of living, a lifestyle. It's not about being a Jew. It's about being a people, Israel. See, all of Israel, all of Jews are Israel, but not all Israel is Judah. Because there are 12 tribes. Judah, or Jews, are from the tribe of Judah. So all of the Jews are Israel, but Israel is not Judah. But we've seen that it's become synonymous. When you say Jews, you think Israel. No, in the Bible, when you say Jews, you're thinking the tribe of Judah. When you say Israel, you're thinking of 10 tribes or all of them together. All right? Does this make sense? You follow? All right. Now, the word new in Jeremiah 31:31 is chadash. Let me review. It means to rebuild, to renew, to repair. Okay? And Jeremiah 31:32 gives us the answer to verse 31. If you read Jeremiah 31, it tells you that it's a renewed, right? Or repair covenant. That means that it has to be given someplace else. So verse 32 of Jeremiah 31 gives you a reference, gives you a hint, gives you a remes, gives you like, go back and look that up. Listen to this. Verse 32 of Jeremiah 31 says, not according to the covenant that I cut with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which covenant of mine they broke, although I was a what? A husband to them, says Yahweh. That's the clue. There was a marriage covenant that happened. Where did it occur? That's giving a reference back to the marriage on Mount Sinai. That's when the original covenant occurred.